The audacity of Rob Pelinka to call out Golden State.
LeBron's leaving, and you guys haven't been popping corks? You gotta be kidding me. He's been your only roadblock.
The Dallas Cowboys have the 31st ranked skill position players in all the NFL.
The audacity of Rob Pelinka to call out Golden State. I just fell out of my chair last night.
How did he call them out?
Well, he's saying, we're going to take you down. That's how it's going to come across to the Golden State Warriors.
No, it's not.
Who needed some bulletin board material this offseason to motivate them to win yet another championship after they added DeMarcus Cousins. So they now have 5 All-Stars and new motivation, because you know and I know that Steph Curry will bring up these quotes all next year.
We've seen someone beat them a game, but in order to take them down once playoffs come along, you have to beat them 4 times over 2 weeks with arguably the 2nd and the 5th best players in the NBA in their prime. Clay is a legit number 2 on any other team, and Draymond is Draymond. Draymond does a little bit of everything. I like the way they're assembling this team to try to limit the points, because if they start getting 115, 120, bye-bye. You're not beating Golden State.
In today's NBA, you still need some level of three-point shooting. And I don't know that the Lakers will have that. And I think another challenge is that this is a strategy that might be built for Golden State, but you might have trouble getting past some of the other teams if you don't have the shooting or the style to beat them. Now, look, I think it's a good plan. Will it work against Golden State? No.
If I'm building a team, what I really want is athletic wings who can score. And so LeBron and Kawhi check both those boxes. When I look at the Lakers, my concern for them right now is they're saying we're trying to build a tough defensive team. I don't know how good defensively Rajon Rondo is. I know Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's not great defensively. There's a difference between being young or long and athletic and being a great defensive player.
You're not going to be able to get enough young athletic shooters, because that's what the problem is. If you try to put shooters on the court, right now the shooters in the NBA, they're typically older guys, can only play 20 to 25 minutes, and when they go down to the other part of the court, they are a liability. And we forget, or we don't talk about it enough, we can't forget Golden State. They're an outstanding defensive team.
You're telling me LeBron's leaving, and you guys haven't been popping corks? You gotta be kidding me. He's been your only roadblock. You never worried about John Wall and Giannis. Miami Heat, Goran Dragic. Danny, stop. LeBron leaving gets you to 65 wins, multiple sweeps in the East, home court advantage in the finals, and I believe you'll cap it in June with a title.
Somewhere, Steve Kerr is really happy. He's giggling happy right now, because those two gentlemen provided his Golden State Warriors with all the motivation they're going to need as they pursue another dynastic championship next year, and you do need new motivation, because he can tell his team now the Lakers are preparing to dethrone us next year with this new defensive toughness of theirs, and Danny Ainge in Boston is preparing to take on LeBron. He dismissed Golden State. He said, you still have to play LeBron.
I know the message that he's trying to send. We're not going to overlook anybody. Anybody can beat us. But Danny Ainge is like, we going. They can't nobody beat us. We're too talented. Because think about it. They had a chance to trade for Kawhi. And he basically said, Tatum, Brown, Kyrie, Gordon, Hayward, Al Horford off the table. So he's telling you, we good enough right now to get out of the East. I don't need to add Kawhi. I don't need to give up no pieces. I'm good enough right now to get out of the East.
What Danny Ainge is saying, look, whether LeBron was in the East or not, our goals remain the same. Get to the NBA Finals and win a championship. Right. And our confidence, our belief remains the same. That is the mentality that enabled them to take LeBron to 7 games without their 2 best players, with a 19 and 20-year-old leading the way. So I love that from Danny Ainge.
We talk about how LeBron has just had the Raptors number, right? Since in the last 8 years, he's beat them, knocked them out of the playoffs 3 times. He's knocked Danny Ainge's teams out of the playoffs 5 times. It's LeBron and his run in the Heat that made Danny Ainge decide to tear it all down.
He had to.
He had to. Like, it is, LeBron has been, there's no team that LeBron has knocked out in the playoffs more in these last 8 years than the Boston Celtics.
The Dallas Cowboys have the 31st ranked skill position players in all the NFL. They have no number one. They have a bunch of twos and fews. Literally twos and figuratively. You know what I mean by that, Skip Bayless. So y'all in trouble, and I'm going to win my due because you're not going to no playoffs.
How can you justify ranking this skill group 31st when it has the best running back in football? All he did was, as a rookie, he led the league in rushing, and all he did as a second-year player was average the most yards rushing in the National Football League by far. He averaged almost 100 yards rushing in 10 games last year, and Todd Gurley averaged second most, 87 yards a game. This is dominating running back, and if you have that guy on your side, it's over. They're at least in that 15, 16. They're at least middle of the pack.
Of course, arsenals for offenses are running backs and wide receivers. Oh, wait, they don't matter. The current NFL dynasty is New England. They've never had a superstar running back. They had one superstar receiver, Randy Moss. It's the year they didn't win. They have won 5 Super Bowls, been to 8 overwhelmingly, without star running backs, mostly journeymen, Rex Burkhead kind of guys, and wide receivers like Chris Hogan, who nobody heard of until he was Chris Hogan of the Patriots.
They ain't got a whole bunch of ballers. They ain't got no guys got, hey, man, you know, I got 200-yard games. I got a couple touchdowns. No. Alan Hearns, I got 1,000-yard season, and he had that a couple years ago. He's coming off a knee injury in Jacksonville where they gave up on him. I believe he's their best receiver.
If you are going to get to high levels in the playoffs with weapons like this, it's usually because you have an elite defense. We're talking about the Cowboys having a pretty good defense if it works out.